Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Star Wars Legacy of Vader #1. This is a new book from Marvel and of course the Star Wars line. Let's talk about the creative team before we get into this book. This book is written by Charles Soule with art by Luke Ross, Nolan Wood on colors, letters by Joe Caramagna, really cool main cover by Derek Chew, as well as a plethora of other really cool covers. I think this book, although it doesn't have Kylo Ren's name in the title, it is very much so about Kylo Ren. And I think Kylo Ren's design, much like Vader's, very iconic, leads itself to a lot of really cool covers and images. So yeah, I'm always very happy to see a new book in this fashion, just because I know at least we're gonna get some cool covers. But luckily for you and me, we're also getting a kick-ass story. In this book, Darth Vader's shadow extends into the rise of the First Order. The reign of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren begins. Kylo's dark obsession leads him to Mustafar. What secrets does Fortress Vader hold for the young tyrant? And what faith from the past will guide him in his quest? So yeah, this all takes place after the events of The Last Jedi. Kylo has killed Supreme Leader Snoke. He has risen and became himself Supreme Leader of the First Order. And it is just such a really cool way to kind of re-enter this world. I think Kylo Ren is one of my favorite characters from the sequels, and I really enjoyed not only what I saw in the films, but also every time that Charles Soule's gotten to write the character. So we're back in that world, and we begin really firmly. Kylo just there's a few highlights for me in this book, but the way Kylo establishes his dominance over the First Order, it's really well done. All that combined with the way that Luke Ross draws Kylo's face, especially his facial expressions, like they're very exaggerated, almost as if Kylo is putting them on to show like his strength of force, right? I think it really works. I think there's a few visuals here where you see like Kylo not only as he remembers killing Snoke, but also what happens to Snoke's body after the fact and all that. The propaganda that Kylo kind of makes up for him, for Supreme Leader Snoke being taken down, Kylo struggling and remembering his past, his father, his mother, his old master Luke, who he just had to face in Crate, and who probably was, it was his last stand against him, but it was still just very well done. But one of the other things that this book really nails is just the way that Kylo dresses down General Hux all throughout the sequels. Ultimately, of course, from the films, we know that General Hux becomes a traitor to the First Order, and we can see that there's a big reason why. And one of those reasons is because the way Kylo treats him. Hux and his lineage and his family had been on pretty much one of the biggest things that led the First Order to rise as it did, especially if you've seen some of the man. I think the Mandalorian or either the Mandalorian or Ahsoka touch on that. Maybe Book of Boba Fett. I don't know. All the shows that are happening at the same time, kind of big swirl in my brain. But you get to see Hux's dad, and his for his early days in what would become the First Order. So that's really well done. Once again, Luke Ross's art and Woodard's colors just really capture these interactions very well. There's a lot of shading to just show the frustration of the characters, a lot of looking into their faces, looking into their eyes very deeply. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff like that. But then we get to what is the crux of the issue, where Kylo is still struggling. By he has let go of his past. He has tried to kill it. He's put Rey and everything behind, but he still doesn't feel like he's free. There's something looming in the shadows, and that is the legacy of his grandfather, Darth Vader. So he goes on to Mustafar, where we get a really cool sequence, just really cool fight up these stairs. There's a moment where I feel like Kylo might have even maybe given up. I'm not sure. There's a little bit of nuance there. Maybe it's just up to the reader. I kind of took it in that way, but then we get a really interesting return of a character that I'm not gonna lie, I had to Google just to remember exactly who he was. The name sounded familiar, but they have a completely different look. I don't think I've seen a look like this before. So that was really, really cool. And then, of course, anytime that Kylo is confronted with the image of his grandfather, even if it's a hologram, Luke Ross does such a good job at having his face kind of soften. And I don't know if it's a way that it's Kylo admires Darth Vader, but also there's probably something else there. It's very interesting. I think that the team as a whole just made great choices. I think in this first opening issue, and I'm very much looking forward to this. Charles Soule has mentioned that this book is going into second print, so if you missed out on picking up a copy, just wait a few weeks. You'll get another chance, and it makes sense. It's a very popular character, very popular book, very popular franchise at Marvel, and they are. This is one of the first books that's kicking off this new 10 years at Marvel for Star Wars books, which is really really cool and pretty crazy. Like it feels like just the other day we were getting into some of those initial runs by Jason Aaron and Karen Gillan over at the for the Marvel stuff, for the Star Wars stuff over at Marvel. So yeah, but I really enjoyed this one. I can't wait to go to my shop and actually pick it up. I read this digitally just so I could really get on board and do a review. So if you have read this book, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. And remember, may the force be with you. Bye bye.